Good afternoon, the 14th day of March, the year being 2024. For the first time in 2 years, the trading of petrol is going to be below the 200 mark within the country's capital. We have those details for you and also about the doctor's strike. But first, the highlights. Confusion as doctors in several parts of the country, like Mombasa, went on strike after the strike notice came to an end.
Kwa upande wetu is not kitu inaitwanga comprehensive cover. Sisi madaktari tuwapeana services ambazo kwamba hizo services tukizihitaji sisi wenyewe ni ngumu kuzipata.
However, public hospitals in Nairobi were working normally in response to court order by the Labour Court that stopped the strike amid ministry calls for dialogue. Broken telephone? Fuel prices change in this month's April fuel prices review. Can drivers catch a break this month? Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Moige William. This is TV47 News Now. Let us bring you up to speed on what has been taking shape in the world of news for the better part of the day. Starting off, Apostle James Ng'ang'a of the Neno Evangelism Center is now accusing nameless individuals inside the Kenya Kwanza government of interfering with his ministry. Ng'ang'a, who appeared this afternoon before the National Assembly Committee on Land probing the ownership of the land occupied by his church also failed to produce evidence or documentation, if any, regarding the ownership of the disputed piece of land. Here's what we heard earlier.
Tukakaa, nikafuata hiyo namba, nikaenda Central Bank. Nikapewa wale watu ambao wanahusika na hiyo plot. Tukaanza kuongea na wao. Wakaniuzia 32 million. Nilipe 10%, alafu zingine nilipe 90 days. Nikaenda kwa Equity, tukaagree na wao, na nikalipa hiyo 10%. All of a sudden, wakaregesha tena kwa TEDA. Nikaiona kwa Kenya Gazette. Tukaenda tuka-apply tena. Wakasema unless now you pay 42 million. Tukasaini hiyo agreement, nikaenda kwa benki ya Equity. Wakanilipia hiyo title. Nikaanza kulipa 2008 somewhere there, ndio nilimaliza loan. Nikapewa title kwa jina la Neno Evangelism Center. 2020 nikaandikiwa barua na watu wa Lerwe. Wakasema wanataka kurespond kuchukua title yao. Mimi nikawajibu, nikawaambia title nimenunua kwa Central Bank na mimi sina title yao. Hawakujibu barua hiyo. Hafta hiyo barua nikaitwa na CS Masharia. Akaniita kule wakiwa na mtu wa kwa badi. Wakaniuliza, Apostle, hii plot ulitoa wapi? Ulipewa na Bishop Margaret? Nikawaambia hapana. Do you have papers? Yes. Nikatoa papers hizo zote nikawekelea hapo. Masharia wakaangaliana na huyo mtu wa badi, wakasema we don't have this in our records. Tangu siku hiyo Masharia hakuniita na sikuitwa tena. Kuna kesi mbili hapa zinapelekana. Kuna kaproti kadogo ka James Maina. Last year nikaenda kujenga.
All right, perfect. We're still keeping tabs with that particular story. Most details in our subsequent bulletins. Let us move on. The Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentist Union are now maintaining that there is an ongoing strike. However, a routine spot check in some of Nairobi's hospitals, such as the Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital, Kenyatta Hospital and Mbagathi Hospital, revealed that it was business as usual. Alex Irongo, the CEO of Mbagathi Hospital, insists that operations are ongoing as usual, with the public being tended to as they arrive. This comes after the court ordered order delivered by the Labour Court halted the strike, even as KMPDU senior officials say they have not been served papers yet.
It's true, the strike, according to the union, kicked off last night, midnight, but we also, it was brought into our notice, also a court order from the Employment and Labor Relations Court that the strike, the stay orders, and therefore doctors are expected to be on duty. And for that reason, also our clients are informed. And that's why you can look around and see they are still coming and they are still being attended, our outpatients, even in the wards, our maternity and the wards, our patients are being attended. Services are going on. Yeah, but we are looking forward for the comfort of all the parties. We are looking forward to an amicable solution. We are hopeful that the union leadership and the government will engage and come up with a solution. Yes, we have doctors who are attending patients. Yeah, of course not all of them, because you see there was also that confusion, I would assume so, because the strike was announced, then that court order was released a bit late. So perhaps those who are not or have not reported, most probably is because of that confusion.
Let us keep tabs with that particular situation, but to a different scenario whereby at the Coast General and Referral Hospital in Mombasa, patients have suffered a blow with no one left to diagnose them as the nationwide doctors' strike began today after the strike notice issued to government lapsed at midnight. Like other parts of the country, medical practitioners in Mombasa have downed their tools to pressure the government to act in regards of their welfare and to address the shortage of doctors at public medical facilities, an issue that has allegedly led to heavy workload. The doctors are also championing for their promotions and study leaves. Additionally, the government has been condemned for delaying in the process of posting of over 1,000 medical practitioners under internship programs, noting that the doctors must attend internships before they are registered and accredited.
Hakuna services za kawaida zitapeanwa as we speak right now. Coast CTGRH, it's locked. Mombasa County mzima, all the public hospitals ziko locked. Kwale ziko locked, Kilifi ziko locked, Lamu ziko locked, Tana River ziko locked, and Taita Taveta ziko locked. Kwa madhumuni haya yote yetu, kisa na sababu, sikuwa tumeanza tu leo kuamka na kusema tunaenda mgomo. Hii kitu imekuwa kutoka 2022. Issues zilikuwa ni ambayo kwamba ilikuwa imeelezwa na tulikuwa tuna court order ambayo kwamba inasema watu wapewe ridhaa zao kwa upande wa basic salary arrears, ambao kwamba tulikuwa kwa upande wa mazungumzo kwa muda wa mwaka 1.5. Until now hakuna kitu chochote kimetokea. Na kutoka mwaka 2022 kulikuwa na shida ya posting of interns. Ma-interns wanachukua time. Kama sasa hivi tunajua ni miezi 8 interns hawajakuwa posted. Na hii ni kitu ambacho kwamba kinaumiza huduma katika hizi nini utoaji hospitali za umma. Interns wanachukua ni kama tunasema ni mgongo ama ni foundation ambayo kwamba inachukua the whole hospital, inasaidia watu kwa kupeana huduma. Sasa hivi kama nyinyi nyote mnajua kuna cover inaitwa shift ambayo kwamba inaokuja. Kwa upande wetu is not kitu inaitwanga comprehensive cover. Sisi madaktari tuwapeana services ambazo kwamba hizo services tukizihitaji sisi wenyewe ni ngumu kuzipata. Kwa upande wa citizen, mtatusamehe haya mambo yanayotendeka sahi, si kutaka kwetu wala si kutarajia kwetu. Mikono yetu imefungwa.
All right, enough of that particular story, but more details in our subsequent bulletins. Now let us shift gears. The embattled Kisii Deputy Governor Robert Monda will today know his fate before the Senate in the impeachment motion filed against him. Monda is facing 4 charges before the Senate, including allegedly obtaining 800,000 Kenya shillings from his friend to secure his son a job at Giwasco. Monda, in his testimony, denied all the allegations, stating his impeachment has been engineered by his political foes. The DG is currently being cross-examined. Let us cross over and listen into what is happening.
A matter but you are well educated, correct? You are well educated, no doubts, correct?
Madam Speaker, I would like to protest at the disrespect that has continuously been shown.
Council Keegan, you
Yes.
can resume your seat for now. Council Degwa Jiro, your time is up actually. We have indulged and overindulged on the cross-examination.
If you indulge me, I'll only ask one question about the phone book and I'll be done.
No.
Only one question about the phone book and how the mistake is alleged to have occurred, and I'll be done, Madam Speaker.
Council, there was cross-examination on that issue of the phone book.
We have not examined on it.
So, Council, ask the final question and don't ask another question.
I'm well guided, Madam Speaker. Mr. Witness, let's go to page 117 of your bundle of documents, the volume from the Deputy Governor. But as we confirm this, confirm that these are an extract from which source? Where did you extract this information from?
From my phone, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker.
Who extracted it for you?
I was assisted by somebody technical.
Somebody technical?
Yes.
When were you assisted?
When I was providing the evidence here.
Was this a document that was typed or you directly downloaded it from your phone?
It was done from my phone.
It was typed, correct?
Not typed.
Yes?
No.
Which date was it done? Does that document bear a date?
It doesn't.
Does it bear any print showing the source of the document?
Print. No, except for the names that are listed there.
Except for the names, correct?
Yes.
I put it to you that you are the one who did this to try and choreograph your story.
I'm not the one.
Finally, when did Lucy return the money to you?
Thank you, Council. That marks the end of that cross-examination. This is now time for re-exam.
Madam Speaker, we had sacrificed, because at least there's something that has not yet come out. Gladys is alleged to have received money. We have not spoken about the story of Gladys. If you could just give us 5 more minutes and we can subtract from the balance of the witnesses that we have so that we deal with that issue. Because these are very...
Right, those are live pictures from the Senate Parliament buildings here in the Nairobi, the country's capital. There is a DG for Kisii being cross-examined by lawyer Ndegwa Njiru. Still a developing story, but let us move on. Second Lady Pastor Dorcas Rigathi has emphasized that she will not back down on her war against alcoholism, drugs and substance abuse among the young across the country. Speaking at a clergy sensitization forum in Rumuruti, Laikipia County, Pastor Dorcas said that nothing will stop her in her quest to save the boy child who has been hooked on alcohol. Pastor Dorcas urged all the religious leaders from across the county to be at the forefront in fighting the menace that has claimed thousands of lives.
Different places. And one of the things we are supposed to... This is the message we are sending. Kama mtu anafanya biashara ambaye inaua watoto wetu, we are saying no. Our children are not going to die anymore. To the death of our children, our male child must live. We have no problem with their business, but the business that kills people, that is not business. It is murder. And anyone who murders people, what does the law say? They should be behind bars. And the church must start to speak.
Elsewhere, Super Petrol Diesel and kerosene will now retail at 199.15 Kenya shillings, 190.38 and 188.74 effectively from midnight for the next 30 days. This is after the Petroleum Regulatory Authority announced that the prices for super petrol, diesel and kerosene have been reduced by 7.21, 5.0, 4.49 Kenya shillings respectively. This comes after President William Ruto assured Kenyans that the fuel prices will be reduced in accordance with what the Kenya Kwanza administration had promised in terms of fuel reduction to help curb the high cost of living. At the same time, he urged Kenyans to help in addressing and getting rid of the menace that is drug. All right, let us stop it at there. Matters fuel.
Hapa Kericho bei ya mafuta inateremka chini. Nyinyi relax. Hiyo maneno iko sawa. Tunaelewana? Sawa sawa. Si leo ni tarehe ngapi? Itatangazwa leo bei ingine mpya. So relax. Tumekubaliana Kenya tutabadilisha kwa mipango na miradi ya maendeleo. Na mimi nataka niliwaomba nafasi kidogo ninyoroshe uchumi. Si mnaona hiyo uchumi karibu inashika laini? Ama namna gani?
All right, it was all about matters fuel, okay? Let us move on. Retired President Uhuru Kenyatta's party, Jubilee Party, will initiate a class action suit next week to sue the government for closing down licensed bars in the Mount Kenya region, terming it as a blanket condemnation and economic sabotage. Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni said the ongoing crackdown has affected more than 200 bars in the Murang'a County alone, which is a clear breach of contract, damage to property, and a discriminatory police targeting genuine bar owners selling licensed drinks. Kioni further says the government should crack down on manufacturers of illicit alcohol instead of harassing business owners. Kioni, who spoke after meeting party chairpersons from the Mount Kenya region, further criticized the government for intimidating civil servants who not to open bars, saying it was against the law.
When you have paid for your license and the money has been received and a license issued, this and then the bars are being closed the way they are being closed, that amounts to a breach of contract. And I believe that in the coming days, there should be somebody going to court. And if we don't see one in the coming days, we will spearhead one in form of a class suit on behalf of the bar owners. This is a clear breach of contract. We can see a lot of damaging of property, and nobody is talking about compensation because of the damages that have arisen out of that exercise being done by the government. All these bars had been licensed by the necessary authorities, and those licenses costed them money. Some of the owners have come to us and they have complained because they borrowed from institutions, from friends, and they are required to pay those debts. Yet their bars have been closed. The agencies closing are the same ones who received the licenses, and they are not being compensated. All
right, still on matters crackdown. The Kenya Pharmaceutical Association, KP, has lauded Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's remarks on crackdown on illegal pharmacies in the country. This is in a bid to ensure the safety and good health of Kenyans. Led by KPA President Eric Seda and Secretaries General Eric Gishane, the association has said that the move will enable Kenyans to differentiate between legal and illegal pharmacies operating in the country. They are also planning to adopt the Blue Cross as a mark of trusted quality and safe pharmacy outlets to be mounted in all KPA member registered premises.
We support the DP's orders, but with caution, because we've seen excesses from the police, the Interior Department. Pharmacy is a highly regulated profession and a very noble profession. And therefore, we wouldn't like to see policemen, the chief, going to legally registered premises where we see patients, we counsel patients, And they ask questions, most of which they don't understand.
We have the database of our members, and we also know the Pharmacy and Poisons Board has the database of all licensed premises, all licensed pharmacy practitioners, that is licensed pharmaceutical technologies and licensed pharmacists. So in branding the pharmacies for members of Kenya Pharmaceutical Association, we have the database. We know these are our members. We also are able to check that these members are licensed to practice, and they are also in their premises are also licensed.
Elsewhere, Kenya, through the Kenya Institute of Primate Research, now seeks to improve health outcomes. That is, when it comes to matter snake bites. That is, this follows the launch of the launch of the African Snakebite Alliance, with a key focus to enhancing scientific research to boost the local manufacture of anti-venom. Every year, over 20,000 Kenyans are bitten by poisonous snakes, of which 4,000 lose their lives during the same period, while 7,000 are left with permanent disability. These rising statistics of snake bites come at a time when the country is grappling with the scarcity of snake venom, which brings to light the urgent need for Kenya to invest in the local manufacture of antivenoms, which is normally imported from the countries of Europe and India. The Kenyan government is forced to spend close to 1 billion Kenya shillings on the importation of antivenom. On the other hand, the Kenya Wildlife Service spends close to 5 billion Kenya shillings annually compensating victims of snake bites. Areas affected by snake bites are Kilifi, Kitui, Isiolo, Baringo, Machakos, Marsabit, Taita Taveta and Garissa.
The Kenya government has committed substantial funding towards the local production of safe, effective and affordable antivenoms for Kenya and East Africa region.
What we are trying to do is to address this issue of snakebite by coming up with antivenoms, or the antidote, which is a product that you give to somebody who is bitten by a snake to neutralize that poison. And one of the challenges that we've had in this country and Africa as a whole is that we rely on imported antivenom or the antidote for the snake bite, mostly from Europe and India. But unfortunately, most of those antidotes or antivenoms have very low efficacy rates, or they are not very effective. You are looking at poor efficacy rates of as low as 50%. And because of that, then you end up using a lot of materials to manage that antivenom, the snake bite. So we can reduce this, or we can have an impact on this by coming up with better antivenoms that are made locally based on the venom, which is the starting material for antivenom from our region. And so today we were bringing together several countries, over 15 countries that have this problem in their regions, so that we can come up with an antivenom that can work for all the snake species. And really that is the agenda.
Elsewhere, residents of Maragua Sub-County have officially presented a petition in Murang'a County Assembly requesting Maragua Dam to be returned under the management of Murang'a South Water Company. The residents highlighted that President Ruto order for the dam to be under Murang'a North Water Company was not in accordance to the law. Furthermore, the residents complained to have no water since then.
Ni damu ya Murang'a South kwa sababu watu wote wa Murang'a South wamechangia ujengaji wa hiyo damu. Juzi tuliona Kang'ata akipeana hiyo damu kwa kampuni nyingine ya Murang'a North inaitwa Mwasco. Na hiyo kitu ndio imetukasirisha zaidi kwa sababu kuna sheria ya Waslem ambayo imeweka mipaka ya Murang'a South Water na mipaka ya Mwasco ni ile mto ya Maragua, River Maragua. Ukipita hapo ujue umepita mipaka. Sasa tumekuja hapa kuuliza Kang'ata as our governor, hii mambo na wewe ndio umeshikilia maji because water issues are devolved. Kwa hivyo tunasema Kang'ata amevuja sheria na tunataka wabunge hawa MCAs wa impeach Kang'ata because of gross violation of the constitution.
There is no document ambaye inasema hiyo maji ilipeanwa kwa Mwasco. Hakuna document. Ile document iko ni ya kutoka kwa WASREP ya kwamba Muswasco is the licensed company ya kupeana hiyo maji ya Maragwa Dam. Kwa hivyo tunaleta petition, ma MCA wetu wakae chini wasiruhize hiyo jambo. Wakitaka kutuita tuko ready, tutakuja, we shall present it wakituita, lakini tumewapatia 14 days.
Tunauliza hata wale wajumbe ma MCA tumechagua kutoka Murang'a South, watu wanafutwa kazi, na nyinyi kwani mlichaguliwa, mnatetea kina nani? Mkikosa kutetea hao vijana walikuwa kazi